Hi all. This is the second installment now in our history of the English language, and I posted a short slideshow that you can look at. But for the lecture, I'm going to look at the lecture outline with you together. So there's a link to this lecture outline also, but I'm just going to want to look at it with you. And so with this lecture, we are continuing to talk about Indo-European, or it's also called Proto-Indo-European, and then you can see it abbreviated PIE or IE. And let's just remember now, by Indo-European, we mean an ancestor language. And this language is the ancestor of practically all the languages that exist now, from Europe in the West all the way to India. And this includes English also. Of course, English has spread to other places as well around the globe. So all these languages that we know, they are the offspring of this ancestor language, Indo-European. They form a family. Okay. And then remember also, how do we know this, right? How do we know that there were these Indo-Europeans who spoke a language and then all these other languages came from them? Well, we only know through comparative linguistics. That is, through comparing the vocabulary of these languages that we do know, that we have now, and seeing that they have very, very similar vocabularies for lots and lots of words. And so then the conclusion is that these very similar words go back to a single root, a single source, or a single origin. And now a new term here that we need to know right here, these words that are similar that we compare to each other and that we decide that, well, they actually go back to the same original root, we call these words cognates. Right? Cognate, literally, it's a Latin word that means born together. And so when we call words cognates, we're saying that they actually descend from, they go back to, like they originate from the same original root. And so what I have here is I have these words in some Indo-European languages for father. These are words, all these words are words for father in different languages. Father, German, vater, Latin, pater, French, père, Spanish, padre, Greek, pater, Sanskrit, pitar. And notice how similar they are, right? So these are cognates, and we decide, well, it can't just be accidental that they look so similar. It's not that somehow the word pater is the right word for father. No, they look so similar because they go back to some original root. And what linguists do then, when they do comparative linguistics, is they try to reconstruct what that original root most likely looked like. And that's what we have up here. This is, with the asterisk next to it, this is supposed to be the reconstructed root for the Indo-European word that meant father. And when you see an asterisk next to it, a root like this, that means that it's hypothetical, it's reconstructed. It's not something that we actually see in any writings, because we don't have any writings for the Indo-Europeans. But this would be the reconstructed root, and it has this little symbol right here, stands for the schwa sound, the kind of an sound. So that the reconstructed idea is that the original word would be something like putter. Putter would be the way that the Indo-Europeans said father. Okay, so this is just one example then of a set of cognates from languages that we have evidence for, or writings from. Right? With Sanskrit, we're looking at an ancient language, but we have writings from it. So it's a very ancient Indian language. And then we're seeing how similar they are, and then trying to reconstruct that original root. Now, if there are some dictionaries that indicate for you, that tell you, when you look up a word, it'll tell you, oh, this word descends from this Indo-European root. And one of the best ones is the American Heritage Dictionary, which I'm referring you to and having you use as a resource. When you go to the dictionary online, you'll find that there is an appendix of Indo-European roots. And there are more than 5,000 examples in this appendix. So what that means is that we've been able to look at 5,000 sets of cognates like this and reconstruct part of Indo-European vocabulary, right? So the fact that there are 5,000 of them, again, that just reinforces and confirms the idea that, yes, these languages must come from the same original ancestor. It's not an accident that 5,000 different there are 5,000 different sets of cognates like this. So in any case, when you go to American Heritage Dictionary online, when you look up a word, if we know what the Indo-European root is, or have reconstructed it, then it'll tell you that in the etymology for it. And then you can go in the appendix and you can look at that root, and it will tell you all different words that have come from that root in all different languages, like so English and German and Latin and Greek and so forth.